Today's video, we're back at the farmhouse working on lighting, putting some things up, even though eventually they'll come down, just so we can see how they look.
To kind of show you what we're doing, I'm having to put these junction boxes back behind where the wall is going to be. These are to keep the wires from getting pulled apart ever if anyone's ever doing any maintenance or work on them. Once we're to the junction box, then the pretty Romex cable is what goes to the actual light switch. Because the metal clad wiring is $1 a foot, so I'm using as little of that as possible. Okay, so these are pretty big lights. We're hoping they give off lots of light.
IKEA stuff is always complicated to put together, so I'm hoping this isn't too bad.
We'll see. So these are all the pieces here. It looks like it's mostly together. I am probably going to eliminate this white piece here because I already have boxes up there and they're not centered. They're up against studs, so we can hide most of the wiring along the rafter. So this is not going to work. Unless you want me to make it work.
No. All right, so this is what Zeb's talking about. Do you see, where's my finger? Here, oh, there it is. Do you see this box right here? That one, right there. That's where the light's gonna go, and it's right up against that stud. So we have to figure out if we need to take off the base or if we can slide that base and cover up the box.
All right, so these lights keep getting bigger and bigger. I had no idea. I know we saw them at IKEA, but I don't remember them looking this big. I think the ones they had on display were smaller.
I'm pretty sure those are the right size.
They're huge.
It's because they were hanging. I think it's about perspective. So once you put them up there, they won't look so bad.
I'm about to go hang one right now, so we will see.
Right now?
Right now.
You don't need me to go up there, do you?
No.
All right, because I don't like heights. I mean, I'll do it if I have to.
So what I'm trying to determine is if I need to add more lead cord on here.
Oh no, I
Or
want
if this
them to
chain-
hug more.
Yeah, I think
Like that's too long.
I wanted them to be up above the beams.
Yeah.
So, like just right below these collar ties.
Hold it, put up a little higher. Those lights are huge. I'm wondering if when we...
I told you.
I'm just wondering if when we paint it, it'll look less big because the ceiling will be all white.
Let me tie it up. I'm going to go look at it with you.
I'm using them, man, because I don't have any extra money. So big or not, they're going to work. I kind of like it with the top of that part where the collar rafter is, like shorter.
Just like right here or right here?
Right there.
Okay.
I think that's good.
I'm literally just tying this on.
So what I'm concerned about is the ones that are on the lower part of the ceiling.
Well, I can almost get them. I'll just have to suck them up real close to like they won't
Almost
have,
like huggers.
Yeah, they won't have much hanging with
That's
the chain.
fine. Let's see what one of those looks like.
Okay. We'll have to put a killer bulb in there so it gives off a ton of light. Oh, that doesn't look bad up there though.
No, that high up it doesn't look bad. Well, but in that we're gonna have 4, and then 2 over there, 2 over there, and then I think it'll be fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
For $20, it's great. That's how much they
I
work.
mean, they're so big. We got them for $20. Like, I feel like we need a big barn to put them in.
This is the barn.
This is the barn. So I switched it to the wide angle so you guys can kind of see and get a feel for how big that light really is.
I think though, if we would have went smaller, it would have looked undersized because this is all such an open space. So scale-wise, it's not bad.
It's amazing how just adding the light makes it feel more like we're getting close to having it done.
Even though we're not.
Even though we're miles away.
So I think that's okay. Let me go look over here.
Is that going to be too much?
So part of the fun of doing a custom home yourself is that you can do things that you won't find anywhere else. And I actually really love these giant industrial sized lights because they're unique and it kind of mixes my love of French country with Zeb's love of industrial. And once everything else is white, they won't stand out quite so much.
Yeah, we might actually paint that sooner than later because we can once the electrical rough-in gets approved.
So we can paint the ceiling. Like that can be our next project, is get that thing.
That would be fun because I'd love to see that thing painted.
But we need to finish zipping off the nails.
Okay, so here's the island. Yes, I've made a mess again.
It's cool, I'll clean it up tomorrow.
Above the island, we have these two beams.
So that's where the pendants are hanging from?
Okay, so these are gonna hang right here. Do you want them to be same height as those ones, or do you want them to bring them down because it's over the island? Or do I need to move them and do a light there, a light here, and a light here, like directly over? Like what's that look like there?
No, those need to be up high because I'm going to be hanging pendants that are different.
Are you gonna do the pendants?
These are actually lights that we sell at JamiRayVintageHome.com. I ordered them specifically because I had intentions of seeing if they would look good at the farmhouse. I didn't want them to match the existing lights because I want them to kind of stand out since they're pendants.
Okay, so this is over the island. The island is pretty much in position, so I'm gonna need to hang one probably right here.
Up higher though.
Like that? Is that weird with the beams?
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna hang pendants. Maybe let's just get it sprayed, put up all the lights that we have, and then if I want more lights, you can just run more wire. Is that hard?
Maybe we can hang these over the dining table.
All right, let's try it over here. All right, so the dining table is gonna go where this pile of wood is someday. And I'm trying to decide if I want to hang some pendants specifically over the dining table. But I'm not sure with this beam here what's gonna go on.
So the big ones are also scheduled to go right here, right here.
Okay.
But let's see what your fancy galvanized light looks like.
A fancy galvanized. I don't know if fancy and galvanized
It's
go
got
together.
scallops. It's definitely fancy.
It's not fancy.
Okay, so the table I'm assuming would be about right in here somewhere. Like two low lights.
How do you hang that all the way from there? That's a
Good question.
I didn't think about that when we opened up the ceiling. I think this is gonna be one of those, we're gonna have to paint it, we're gonna have to put these lights up, and then when we get the dining table in, if I need more lights, you might just have to wire it then.
We were trying to figure this out so that when I did the wiring it was all done, but it looks like we're going to have to wait until the actual table is here.
Well, I'm just a visual person, like I gotta see it.
Jamie was complaining about my big holes that I made, but once it's all done, it'll get sucked up and no one will see it.
I was not complaining. I just wanted to know what you were gonna do to fix the holes that you left.
Well, I drilled it and then I got up there and there's a 2x6 running right there, so I had to make it a little larger.
This porch is a little bit precarious because the porch ceiling is not super high, so you can't have a dangling light fixture, but I wanted something very farmhouse up against the beadboard. So I found these at Home Depot, but what you don't know is they originally had a mount and were made to come out of a wall, and Zeb just took them apart and made them custom so that way they'll work with my beadboard ceiling.
That was actually a lot of extra work. It would have been better to buy like this style light.
They were expensive. These were only $30 at Home Depot, and all the like fancy lighting stores online wanted $100 or more for little tiny lights, and they didn't have any huggers.
We have an old light that's actually antique, and it is over at the shop. Jamie ran to go grab that real quick. It's gonna go in the pantry. It's really similar to the one that's already in the bathroom, and it's a lot the same style as the lights that are on the porch. So we're gonna put that in the pantry. She went to go and grab that real quick so we can show you. While she's gone, I'm trying to throw the rest of these lights up real quick so when she gets back, she can walk in the door and hopefully visualize what these are gonna look like, because I think we've got enough lighting in here.
That's a lot of lights.
Yeah, I got them up while you were gone. First impressions.
I hope that it looks less crazy once it's painted white. So I think tomorrow we're gonna have to paint it just so I can be like, all right, that makes sense. I think that one's gonna go right about there. So it'll match the light that's in the bathroom. That's another found light fixture. Where did we buy this? I don't even know.
This is from George's.
Is it? Or is the other one from George's?
Maybe the other one's from George's. Oh, this is from that barn sale you went
Oh
to.
yeah, I got it at the barn sale. I think this one was a lot cheaper actually, so sweet.
That's gonna be up there about like that.
Yeah, and this is all gonna be closed. So there'll be a ceiling on here, and then you'll have the exposed rafters, and then that'll poke down between.
Yeah. So with everything being uneven and straight, we still have to like level these out. I'll get a laser and make sure they're all hanging right by the time we get them done. But it's a lot of lights, more than I think we thought it was going to be.
Sometimes you just have to lay things out to know what you want. So I'm glad we got this going on. Once we get it finished, then I think I'm gonna add some extra pendant lights from the website. Make sure you guys are hitting up JamiRayVintageHome.com for all your decor and JamiRayVintage.com for your paint and DIY. Give us a thumbs up and subscribe to Jami Ray Vintage for more
DIY.